Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1 and welcome to Boots on the Ground. Our small business of the day is actually a soap company. I will put the link in the first comment and pin it there, and I'll also put it in the description. But they use natural means and natural ingredients to make their soap. They use the hot method, so I guess they bake their soap and then cut it into cakes. But I checked out their website. They got a lot of variety, so please go check them out. If you can support them, support them. This person sent a very lengthy email in. They lost power for a couple days, and they tested out their preps, and they said it was really good to do this. So I urge you, if you have not tested your preps out, turn the power off. Figure out what works and don't work. Don't wait till the power goes off. Even just for an ice storm or a tornado or any type of natural disaster, figure it out now so you can be better prepared. This is from Alaska. This person attached some of the photos, and this is what they're seeing on their Facebook feed. They said basically pets are being surrendered because people cannot afford to feed them. One lady, actually in a local group, asked for the best way to place her 1-year-old for adoption. Not because she doesn't want the child, but because she's already working 2 jobs, cannot afford to raise the baby. She was directed to the appropriate resources, but very heartbreaking, extreme heartbreaking. Hopefully this lady gets what she needs. This person said that the food banks are running out of food. I can't service all the people that are in need. Also, produce at many of the grocery stores have expired, or the expiration date is very close to expiring. Also, generic Tylenol or over-the-counter medicine and very short supply. Now, granted, this is Alaska, so it's a little bit harder to get things there. Ashland, Ohio, they do have a positive backyard flock of birds that were tested for bird flu. I live and work near Hicksville, Ohio. I can confirm that 4 million chickens are being disposed of. My husband works on one of the poultry farms nearby, and the company leaders are panicking. If it hits his farm, he'll be out of a job. I went to the store to buy some lunch meat from our small grocery store. It's been a long time since I bought anything from the deli. There was no prices on any item, which I thought was odd. I got a few items, and I went checked out, went home. I looked at my receipt, almost $10 a pound for bologna. Never again. Tell your viewers to ask for the price before purchasing any items. Many reports now are coming in where even restaurants, delis are not putting any prices on anything because the prices are changing so rapidly. This is South Central Kentucky. First, I just want to say thank you, and I value your channel and what you've been doing to keep us better informed. Thanks for all the people sending it in. You deserve the credit. Inflation is really hitting home here. I used to be able to get 2-pound roll of real butter for $8. Now it is $14.49. Also, the Dollar General markets closest to me just opened this spring, and they rarely have milk or meat available in stock. Yesterday, they only had 2 beef roasts in the whole display, and they were marked $8.49 a pound. Please tell everyone to focus on your preps more than ever before. And try to wake up your friends. A lot of us are trying to do that. People are not waking up. They're not even close to waking up. They're brain dead when it comes to prepping. We rented a car in Phoenix, Arizona. Looks like they're cutting back on prolonged maintenance or prolonging maintenance. It was an older model year. Tires almost bald on front. Almost had 60,000 miles. Yes, they're having shortages of cars for the rental places, so they're keeping them a lot longer. This is London, Ohio, just outside of Columbus, Ohio. Just got notification that my fuel oil budget plan went from $60 per month to $175 per month. I'm a senior on a fixed budget. I'm going to set up a wood-burning stove tucked away in the basement so I can get some heat from it. They did say stovepipe cost is out of sight, and I second that. This is from St. Louis, Missouri. There is a bakery, I guess it's Heaven Scents Bakery, been in business 27 years. This person that sent this to me said they got their wedding cake from this bakery 22 years ago. And the bakery just announced they will be closing shop. Not enough workers, and the cost of doing businesses with all the price increases of all their staples that they use to make all their goodies. This is Yuma, Arizona. For the last few days, Walgreens has been unable to process any credit or debit cards. has affected all the Walgreens there in that area, I guess. Customers must pay in cash. This brought great joy to my heart. I showed a picture, and basically it's one of the old, I guess, car wash areas, self-service car wash, that someone turned into a plant library. So basically, you can take a plant, leave a plant. Also, you can see some garden seeds there, herbs, perennial flowers, succulents, and also some people now have excess produce from their garden. There's a table in the center with all kinds of produce on it that you can have for free. I just touched my heart. It's like, yes, this is what we need. People helping people. So if you got a place where you can do that, maybe set it up in your area if you have a small community. This is South Alabama. Attached is a picture of a note posted on the door of a local steak restaurant. Basically, no more potatoes until the next harvest. Luckily, the harvest is right around the corner. They also said that hit or miss availability on food products for Walmart and Publix. So certain things are out, and very noticeable price increase. Walmart canned vegetables went from 50 cents to 58 cents. So I think that's a 16% increase. Cat litter prices extremely high. Gross price errors between the shelf and the register. They're saying this is everywhere, but some examples. Home Depot tonight, 1 gallon of weed killer was $4 more at the register than the posted price. A 4-pack of AC filters was over $1 more at the register. Distilled water, very difficult to find. I'm getting a lot of these reports, and I didn't know this, but I should have known it. I was like, why just distilled water? Because it's needed for the CPAP machines. And then it clicked, no wonder people are needing it desperately. Local Pizza Hut no longer offers complimentary packs of that red pepper flakes or the Parmesan cheese. They now charge a fee for them. Lots of businesses closed or operating on reduced hours due to worker shortages. Huge reduction in the number of people at restaurants. And that's from South Alabama. These are people are in Southwest Indiana. We are blessed to be in Amish country. We have a community in our area, and there are about others all around us. So they went to some Amish stores, and no macaroni. Also, for a month now, we can't find cheap, generic cans of chicken noodle soup. None at the Walmart, Save-A-Lot, or Aldi's. Only the more expensive brands like Campbell's and Progresso. Probably because everyone's buying the cheaper brands. And also some macaroni shortages, which would be with the pasta. We've known that. I live in central San Diego. The restaurants are crowded, grocery stores have an abundance of food items, and stores are crowded. Other than price continuing going up and away, it's really nothing out of the ordinary for them. So people are spending money, and they have availability of goods, and this is in central San Diego. I've been listening to you for a while now. I've been keeping up with all the shortages that you are reporting from up north. I live in South Texas, where the only problems we are seeing is dealing with the illegal immigrants crossing the border. Today is the first day I have seen shortages. I went to our local HEB, and there was aisles and aisles just empty. I'm not just talking a few things missing. There was whole aisles that were empty. Everything was slim picking. The tuna fish were all sold out in the multi-packs of canned tuna fish. Produce section was pretty good. And anywhere there was empty shelves, they were trying to fill them as creative as possible. I think it's finally going to start hitting down here. Thank goodness that I've been listening to your channel and stocking up on everything. I feel sorry for those who have not woken up to what is actually happening right now. And they did include a lot of pictures and a lot of empty shelves. If you're in an area that you don't see the empty shelves, be thankful and just keep prepping. I live in the San Francisco Bay Area and wanted to report a few things. The grocery stores I regularly shop are still well stocked, but Trader Joe's was out of loose russet potatoes and garlic bulbs for the first time since I began shopping there regularly in 2007. They had smaller bags, but the single ones, they were out. Their butter went from $3.69 last week to $3.99. So not too bad, but 30 cents here, 30 cents there, and then we're starting to talk real dollars. Bread is also steadily going up in price. At Safeway, the red apples have jumped in price a little bit. Last week I waited in the car while my husband was picking up a cheeseburger, a small fry, and a small chocolate shake at a local burger place. He had returned to the car to get more cash because the total was nearly $22, which he was not prepared for. So a cheeseburger, a fry, and a chocolate shake. That's incredible. This weekend we ordered 2 extra large pizzas from one of our favorite pizza places where we go on only occasionally because they're pricier than most. The total after tax was almost $75, and we noticed both pizzas were definitely thinner than usual and didn't taste as good. My parents live close to me in San Francisco in a nice and quiet, safe neighborhood. Lately there's been a lot of posts on Nextdoor.com and about car break-ins, smash and grabs, robberies, home break-ins, and even a home invasion. Some even in broad daylight and in busy and crowded shopping areas like malls. Part of the problem is the shortage of police officers, but also the terrible city leaders and politicians and the lax laws and enforcement. Also, they said the heat wave that's going through, they got an alert not to charge your electric cars on certain time during the day. Switch gear. This person in April bought a number 10 can of Augustin Farm dried eggs for $23. Went back the other day and they were beyond sky high, $116. Now granted, this might be a third-party vendor, and when they're out, sometimes third-party vendors jack the price up, but overall the egg prices are definitely high, and this was probably because of the bird flu and the culling of millions and millions and millions of birds. Hopefully eventually this price will come down. Let's talk about the Minnesota nurses strike. It looks like it's going to happen, so please prepare. This is going to affect a bunch of hospitals in this area, so be extremely careful. If they don't have nurses, the emergency room will not function as efficiently, so do not get hurt. Also, a lot of watercrafts are up for sale by owner. Minnesota has lots of boats for our 11,000 lakes. Also, many used RVs are up for sale. Stores remain stocked. Prices are high, though. Restaurants like Subway and Chipotle are hit and miss on all items being in stock. There is rampant lawlessness in Minneapolis. Police say to remain in your vehicle if you are rear-ended. It's probably a carjacking. So let's all remember that. Someone rear-ends you to get you out of the car, dial 911, stay in your car until an officer arrives on scene. Do not get out. On Saturday, there were shots fired at a Minnesota State Fair, and we had 2 shootings at the Mall of America in recent weeks. On last Sunday, we saw a man and woman in a neighbor's sweet cornfield stealing corn. Mail theft is up in our rural areas. I highly advise people to get locking mailboxes. Delta pilots are no longer staying overnight in Portland, Oregon. Delta Airlines states it's too unsafe and have moved all flight crews to overnight accommodations outside the city. This is from a university, I think it's in California. Some highlights from a memo that was sent out from the university's president to conserve power, that there's an energy crisis in California, and increased energy costs means increased tuition and increased inflation. So turn off lights in any area where they're not needed or being used. Utilize natural lighting when possible. Unplug anything, small appliances, electronics, chargers, computers that are not being used. Close window blinds or curtains to keep the hot sun out, and use stairs rather than elevators. All common sense things. It sounds like we're more going into a third world country where we have to really watch everything. We went shopping 2 weeks ago and couldn't get peanut butter at Walmart. Checked my local Walmart online all last week, and when I went to order my groceries online yesterday, they finally had peanut butter back in stock. However, by the time I checked out, most of it was out of stock again, even the peanut butter powder. People must have been lying in wait to be restocked with peanut butter. Also at Costco yesterday, they were missing lots of the regular grocery items. Didn't see flour. And other things that I normally... They did have a bunch of rice, but it was so expensive. Not a lot of powdered milk, but some. Had some vegetable oils, and the first time in a couple months they had Crisco. Then they continue on what they had and what they didn't have. Lots of people at Costco and Walmart, maybe more than usual, but still not too many carts full of what they call I call long-term pantry items. People buying either a few items or people still buying trendy items. I took a look at their fridge and freezer, $3,800. Nice, but I don't know how many people could afford that if their fridge stops working. And just continue to go on where prices are just going up and away. Can't imagine what it's going to be like by Christmas time with the cost of food. Just stopped at my local Kroger to pick up items to grill. Unfortunately, the entire refrigeration section in the entire store was out. No meat, no dairy. And to cut to the chase, anything that needed to be refrigerated was entirely empty. In the ice cream frozen food, there were some white bags of dry ice placed about. It was shocking as well as eye-opening to what it would look like in SHTF scenario. When I asked the workers where all the meat was, they seemed as though they'd been instructed not to talk about it and avoided answering, saying, "I don't know." However, on the way out, I asked one of the checkers, and she is the one who informed me that the refrigeration system has gone out. Wow. It seems odd that this keeps happening all over the country. This is Council Bluff, Iowa. My home insurance has gone from $1,250 last year to $1,601 this year. My trash service has been raised from $32 to $46. And they added another line for a $6 fuel charge, so it is really $52. The stores here are fairly well stocked. The frozen food aisles hit and miss. They also mentioned that they bought some extra gas grill propane tanks, which have gone up between 25 and 30%. I have a generator and a heater that can run off of them. Also, someone sent me this. The Census Bureau said 3.8 million renters will likely be evicted in the next 2 months. That is a huge number. 3.8 million renters evicted. For the first time ever, the median rent in the U.S. medium topped $2,000 a month, and the increase shows no sign of stopping. Those rising rents means the household representing a total of 8.5 million people were behind on their rent at the end of August, according to the Census Bureau. And about 3.8 are very worried that they will be evicted in the next 2 months. The combination of soaring inflation and the end of most eviction moratoriums and rental assistance payments, an extremely low vacancy rate has pushed rents up, and many renters are in massive trouble. This is an update from Central Valley, California. They said, don't let the news scare you about the temperatures and power outages here in Central California. It is normal for us to be 100 plus degrees for many days during the summer. The issue is instead of improving existing infrastructure and maintaining power lines like trimming back trees, etc., PG&E spent its money on green energy products. So it's not that the weather is crazy in global warming, but that we have an antiquated and poorly maintained power grid. The PG&E are scaring people with all this global warming and junk. Husband had to travel for work again. He said he was only flying nonstop from now on because he's tired of the airlines constantly canceling his connecting flights. I'm hearing tons of that. If you can fly direct, fly direct. So many people are missing their other flight or it's being canceled. Major problems. She also stressed, find local farmers, find anywhere where they sell local produce and support them. Yes, you might pay a little bit more, but the quality of the food you're going to get is going to be so much better. I live in the suburbs just north of Albany, New York. I went into Walmart looking for a new pan. I was thrilled to find some Lodge cast iron pans. There was a 5-piece set for $80. They weren't huge. They had a 10-inch griddle, a 10-inch skillet, 8-inch skillet, and then a 5.5-quart Dutch oven. So these things are great for cooking. My wife cooks a ton on cast iron. She has a big collection of cast iron. Cast iron is something that will be passed down to my kids, and it will be able to be passed down to my grandchildren. So there you go. That's Boots on the Ground for today. I hope you're prepping. Thanks for watching.